Trojan family and college football to lose a legend like Sam Cunningham is a very sad deal. Legend in our game and legend of a man, to be honest with you. I've really appreciated having a relationship with him, his love for USC and our love for him. So wish nothing but the best to his family and all that loved him. Obviously, first conference game this week, obviously with a tough opponent in Stanford. Have always been so respectful of David Shaw and the job that he's done at Stanford. You know, it's one of those physical matchups each and every time you play them. Extremely well coached, extremely disciplined, and they come to play each and every week. Offensively, it seems like they're trying to settle in on which quarterback they're going to go with, working two quarterbacks for us. It's very similar game plans, two similar players, both pocket passers, very good arms. You know how they can run the ball, and you know, to have Austin Jones and E.J. Smith in the backfield, those are two dangerous weapons, and something that we're going to have to really focus on, and something that was really a success, you know, for Kansas State last week, and probably was the difference in the game was controlling that powerful run game that they normally have. Defensively, it seems like year in and year out, the guys just show up. It's the same system. They plug in, they recruit to their system, and they do an amazing job. I thought they did a nice job last week of putting pressure on the quarterback with 3 sacks. Our offensive line is up for a big task this week with that defensive front. Very, very impressed with them. With that, I'll take any questions that you have on the upcoming week.
It's the 100th meeting between you and Stanford. Always describably seems to always bring out the best. That's something special.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've had the opportunity now, this being my 12th year in the league, and this has really become a big rivalry game. You know, it's one of those games that have really, I think, kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. You know, we always play them within the first 3 games because we both had that matchup with Notre Dame. So it's always an early test, and it's always just a physical battle. You know, you come out of this game and everybody's black and blue. So it's a special game within our league. It's a special game for college football. We look forward to having a chance to compete.
With all the time that Gary's missed, how much can he handle this week?
You know, we brought him in. You know, he got a little bit of extra conditioning on Saturday. Came in on Sunday and got a little bit on his own there. Monday looked really good, and today was full speed. So he's got 4 days of work in now. We'll see how he goes through the week. He felt really good today. Looked like nothing wrong conditioning-wise. You know, didn't pull him in the full practice. He did about 75% of it, and we wanted to gauge it, but looked really good. So we'll continue tomorrow, and I know he's fired up to have a chance to play in this game, and that's his mindset. And usually that means those guys usually, as long as we don't have a setback, they'll be ready.
If he plays, would he be limited? How many reps he gets?
It's how we go through the week, Ryan, to be honest with you. I hope that he's completely healthy. We can lose him for a lot of reps. He's a weapon, and he provides extra speed on the field. So if we have the chance to use him, yes, we're going to use him.
Any areas of growth in particular with the run game you're hoping to see going into next week?
You know, one of the things I thought was really good last week was just the efficiency in the run game. You know, when you're averaging about 5.5 yards a carry, got one back at 6 yards, one back at 5 yards. I really thought it provided balance, Ryan, within and took pressure off of 9. You know, it didn't have to be that 50-throw game. You know, looking at about 36 throws and 34 runs, and it really felt balanced. You know, I didn't see a ton of negative yardage plays either. I thought the offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage against what I thought was a good defensive front and a veteran defensive front. You know, so obviously there's always things you can get a little bit better at. You know, we as runners, I thought we did a good job. They'll tell you there were 3 or 4 opportunities that if they stick their foot in the ground and get north, they're probably going to make a couple more yards, or Babai maybe had a time to really put his foot in the ground and get north and get a score. But overall, I thought it was a positive day, and I'd love to see that consistency week in and week out. It'll equal a lot of wins. If we win the rush game each and every week, that's going to equal a lot of wins.
Do you like the way Keontae and Vi were able to split those carries in terms of just them finding a rhythm?
Yeah, definitely. I thought for them and where they're at right now, I think both of them had somewhere in the 18 touch range. Both of them had 4 catches, total together. And so you're looking at guys that had about 18 touches per group, per man, and really split those 70 plus plays. We hope to be in that 70 to 80 play range each and every time. And if they can stay fresh and stay healthy, we went into the game, saying that we were going to go with those 2 guys. And they really got in the flow because they were in there 5, 6, 7 plays. Really didn't pull a guy out until we saw him winded. And I thought they both were in great shape and were able to sustain drives because.
Do you anticipate having Darwin this week?
He's close. He's close. He looked good today. I thought, he was right at, on the test yesterday, a little above 19 miles per hour. He's a 20-plus mile-an-hour kid, and so, we'll go through the week and see where he's at. I hope that we do have him, and provide even extra depth within that room.
If we see a depth with Keenan Christian and Daniel Campbell, are they available?
Keenan was not available today for team activity, and DC was sick.
If Nick can't go, what does that mean for Corey's run?
Say it one more time.
If Nick can't play, what does that mean for Corey's run?
Yeah, they rolled today. They had Thule and Corey out there on the edge and splitting time. And so we'll see where Nick is at the end of the week. He's progressed nicely over the first 2 days. We're hoping to get him some work later in the week and see where it's at. But obviously, if he can't go, then Thule and Corey are going to have to hold that position down.
Outside someone else?
Do you have an update on Liechtenstein? He left early.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a shoulder AC sprain, just being being proactive, and got an X-ray. It was negative, so just a little bit of an AC sprain. We'll see how it is tomorrow.
Quick outside the lines question. Have you seen Ted Lasso on Apple TV?
One of my favorite shows.
Really?
Yes, I like Ted Lasso.
So-
I get one night a week on Sunday night to go home. That's about my one night a week I go home, and lo and behold, that's the one show I watch on TV is Ted Lasso.
Well, so then you know that instead of X's and O's and strategy, because he doesn't know the game, he's more about psychology and about really understanding how every player ticks. Is that your approach, and do you feel like coaching in the pros and colleges sort of shifted in that direction?
Well, I like the college game. I've been in it 26 years because I get to deal with 18 and 21-year-olds, and it's not only the X's and O's on the field, but you're also teaching them life, and you're teaching them how to go from a young man to a grown man and a professional, both on and off the field. So, the combination of that in college is what I've always liked. I saw my dad coach in the NFL for a number of years, and my niche was here, and I really like not only being their coach, but being their friend, their mentor, some of them their adopted father, and bringing them along. That way, it's maybe the reason why I like the show is it's not only about coaching and winning games, but it's also about growing young men. So appreciate that question.
Let's do one more.
All righty, guys.